Our topic today is learning about buying tech equipment by myself, Tom Kreitzer. First, to the mic. Okay. It's very direction or very close there. If I move a little bit, it goes off. First, a little bio about myself. I'm the son of John Kreitzer here at Carondelet. I worked for 40 years. I'm now retired from 3M, the Information Technology or IT department. I currently am and have been involved with the 3M Personal Computing Club for over 35 years. I do offer free computer help. You do also have on-site help here that you can sign up for too. I mentioned that I'm thrifty. I'm not cheap, so if there's a cheaper way or an inexpensive way of doing things, I usually move towards that. Next month, the topic next month will be why are my devices slow, and whether you have a tablet or a phone or a laptop or a desktop, I'll talk about some things that you can take a look to see why they're slow or what you can do to maybe speed it up a little bit there. Along with my sister and my brother-in-law, we also put on a Fix-It Clinic here at 3M. We just had a Fix-It Clinic on Monday, and our next one, we'll hold another one in January or February. If you do have any small appliances, lamps, anything that needs fixing or a question on, you can bring it and we'll try and do our best to fix it free of charge. I mentioned here the Carondelet website, and that's listed on the handout. In the back too is where the website is if you haven't been out there. But on the Carondelet website, there is an entry called Tech Help, and in that Tech Help, I have a calendar of the upcoming meetings and when the one-on-one help here at Carondelet is available. Also, there's a resource section. That resource section will have past meetings and recordings. So I'm currently recording the slides and the audio here so that if you want to revisit it at a later time or you misplace your handout or want another handout, you can go out there and get a handout and see the recordings. There's also an FAQ, and if you want to ask a question, you can there too. So let's get to the main topic today, which is tech buying. The last 2 years have presented some unique challenges with shortages of some products and computer chips and just buying in general with COVID, and the shipping and everything has been out of whack the last couple of years. It's also tricky to know when to shop. Most retailers have already started kicking off their holiday sales. So if you've seen on TV or in the newspaper or going out to websites, you'll see all kinds of sales and all kinds of information. Consumers have to decide whether to buy early to make sure that they get the items that they want, or do you hold off in the hope of getting some of the best deals? And I'll explain some of those things a little later. Many of the deals are masquerading as fantastic bargains are really not as good as they look. And it's easy to be fooled by these ads or some of the things out there. First, we'll talk about where's the best place to shop. And the top 5 places to shop, these are all online sites, are Amazon.com, Target.com, Newegg.com, BestBuy.com, and Walmart.com. So if you can't find an electronic item or a tech item at one of these 5, they have everything. They have everything. So you shouldn't have to go to any other site there. This is a chart I show because I mentioned I also do these presentations and work with the 3M Personal Computing Club. And I do a survey every year of the Personal Computing Club, and I ask where people buy stuff. And this is the response from the last survey that we did. And it is very similar to what the statistics are for the entire United States. Best Buy is #1 in our case for the personal computing club, with 63% of the people using them. 49% buy from Amazon, 27% from Target. Then we have the Apple Store, Costco, Walmart, OfficeMax, eBay, all these different places that are out here. So if you're looking to see some other places to check, yeah, you could check some of these, but mainly I'd stick to the top 5. You're gonna find that they have everything that you should need. Excuse me, I didn't catch it. Costco is not the 5th. Walmart is, if we go back, Walmart, the top 5, and it's listed on the handout there. So like, there's the top 5, and then there's from the survey there.
I have a question.
Sure.
Target, the Best Buy and even seems to have changed. And I was out there at the Bison, and they said it's kind of a experimental type store or something like that. I'm not really as happy with it as the old. I used to like the one they had on the website. That was a great store, but they closed it.
Stores have changed a lot, and actually, I had a TV. What was it, about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, I had a TV of mine that went out, and I was looking to buy a new TV, and just like you, I wanted, and you'll see a little later, I recommend that you see it in person, something like a TV. You don't have to buy it there, but see it in person before you buy it so that you know what it looks like and, things like that. And you're right, companies like Best Buy have turned their stores and that into more of a warehouse or a pickup place. So they may not have much merchandise in the store itself. They can get it for you, and you could pick it up or that in a day or two, but they'll have hundreds of TVs up on the wall, let's say. And if you said, I want this one, or I want that one, they'll say, oh, we have to check our inventory. And they go to their computer and they say, oh, sorry, we don't have that one. It's available over at this other store, or we can have it shipped here in a day or two, and you can either pick it up or we can ship it to your house. So a lot of stores are turning away or getting rid of that in-store experience and selling most of their stuff online and that, but
how do you know? Like you said, you want them to look at it and a salesperson to show it. How do you know?
You can still go to some of the stores, and so you can go to the Targets, and you can go to, or Walmart doesn't have everything. So if I go out to the Walmart website, there's probably 1,000 different TVs I could buy. Well, in the store, they'll maybe have 100 different TVs. But at least if you're not familiar with the options of the TVs and remotes and things like that, you can take a look at some of the stuff there before you buy. And then if you see a model or a make that you like, you don't have to buy it there. You can kind of go back and either use your phone or a tablet or a laptop and buy it online and have it shipped right to your house there. In fact, the last TV I bought was one for my porch, and I ordered it from Walmart, and I ordered it like at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was on my doorstep by before 10 o'clock in the morning. And which surprised me, because when I ordered it, they even said it's going to be 2 days before it gets shipped out or stuff like that. But if you're familiar with the company DoorDash delivered it. It wasn't in any shipping box or anything like that. Just set it on the front stoop in 2 hours. Now, luckily I was home. If I wasn't home, this TV would have sat on my doorstep for a while there. But that's how fast these places are getting. And there was no charge for shipping. Was not packed in a box. Walmart has deals with DoorDash. You know, they're the company with the people independently deliver mainly meals. You order food from restaurants and things like that. Well, they also deliver packages, and so Walmart did that. This was a small 32-inch TV. I paid $89 for it, and no shipping. I didn't have to pay any shipping, and got it within 2 hours delivered, which was certainly easier than going to a store and picking something up and things like that.
But the climate element, isn't that bad for the equipment?
Usually not, you know, unless it's raining out or something like that. Certainly, then that could be a problem if it. But the cold, normally the electronics and things like that are shipped in trucks, and so they're made to withstand the cold. Or
Well, how do you know it's even a new one? What kind of guarantee do you have that you're getting a new TV? It's just, you know, it's not boxed. You take out the paper.
well, this was boxed. I mean, it was in the. It just wasn't in a brown box with a mailing label or anything like that. It had the picture of the TV on the outside and the function. So it was boxed. It wasn't a loose TV, but it wasn't in a plain brown box that anyone who walked by the front of my house could see that there was a TV sitting on there.
Maybe they did it for that reason.
They were just delivering it fast. But we'll go on here. So yeah, the deals are starting. You'll see them all over. Some of the items, though, they may sell out. So if there's something that you're looking for, you have to make the decision of do you buy it now or do you wait a little while. And this gets back to your point there. It used to be as soon as 10 years ago, the best deals that you'd get were usually after Thanksgiving on Black Friday. And you'd have to wait in line at the store, or it opened up at 5 or 6 in the morning, and you'd have Best Buy would have 26 of these TVs that they'd have. And if you camped out the night before, you might get one of those. Those days are over. You don't see sales like that anymore. Almost all the sales are done online, and they have more of a quantity. They aren't selling them as lost leaders or below cost. So they usually have a stock of a bunch of items there. So the best shopping truly is online, and the best deals that you're going to see are buying it through those major sites that I talked about there. And when you buy it through the major sites, most of the major sites, if you're buying anything over $25, you get free shipping. So you don't have to be an Amazon Prime member to get free shipping. And Target and Walmart will ship the things out free of charge as long as your total order is like over $25. So you get free shipping. If you don't want it shipped, like I was mentioning that it was just left on my front door, you can have it shipped to a store and pick it up at the store. I live here in Highland Park, and down in the village here we have the little mini Target there. And so I'll buy stuff from Target and I'll have it shipped to the store, and then I go down there and pick it up there. Or you can do curbside pickup if you want to drive your car up and get it, but I can walk down there and I pick up my items, and makes it easy there. The bigger the item or the more complex it is, this is where I mention seeing the item before you buy it. So if you're buying a TV or a monitor or a laptop or a keyboard, a lot of those times you do want to try out the item or at least see it before you buy it. And that's where you're going to have to, find a store that has it where you can see it, try it out. You don't have to buy it there. If you find a model or a make that you like, write it down, go back to your house or apartment here, and then order it online there.
But then Best Buy is not the best solution. Go to another store, see if the same.
You'll have to see, and that's where what you have nowadays is you have these websites, and there's apps out there to help you do the shopping. So there's something, Google Shopping. If you go out to Google Shopping, it'll compare a number of these sites and show you the best price. There's also services, and these are free services, called Price Grabber and Shopzilla. These will automatically go out and find you the best prices currently for some of these items.
How do you know which is the best item to buy?
The best item to buy, you kind of have to, you can search online for reviews if you're looking, let's say, for a new laptop or a new phone or something like that. You can always do a Google search, and I'll show that a little bit later, some of the tips on how to check reviews there and that. If you are in the store and you want to compare items, there's, if you have a smartphone, there's apps like Buyvia, Shopkick, ShopSavvy, and Shopular, and these apps let you use the camera in your phone to scan the barcode of the item that you're looking at, and then it'll pull up reviews of the item that you're looking at and potentially other places where you could buy it and what their prices are at the other stores. So that's a quick way of, you're in the store, you like this TV, and you want to see if you can find it somewhere else. These apps and these things will help you.
Price Grabber and look at it.
What's that?
Oh no, it's Buyvia.
Yeah, there's different ones. The Price Grabber and the Google Shopping are more for searching for item to see what the best price is. If you already know that this is an item that you want, then you can use your phone to actually search for. Just point your phone at it, and it'll automatically search for that for you. So there's all these different ways of finding stuff there. Yes.
How do you avoid being scammed by false advertising on like Facebook? They know that you're looking for something, so then they send out a false, and then you get scammed. How do you avoid that?
Right. A good question. Good question there. The question, I'll repeat it for the recording and that, or if people are watching it on the TV, is how do you know that you might be scammed? And certainly, if you start searching for things on the internet, as you go into Facebook or other things, you're going to see ads pop up, and it may show this tremendous price or stuff like that, low price for something. Well, that's where I trust the 5 big sites. I only buy from Target, Amazon, Best Buy, Newegg, and Walmart. I don't buy from anybody else. So if you're buying from those 5 sites, 100% guarantee you are not getting scammed. And only go out to those sites, only if you have accounts with your credit card or stuff like that, only give it to those places. Don't start giving credit card numbers to, oh, they have this laptop and they're selling it for $100. If it sounds too good to be true, it's probably a scam there.
What's Newegg? I never heard of Newegg.
Newegg is a computer company that's been around for almost 35, 40 years. And It's mainly for tech equipment. Let's say you wanted a mouse. Well, there's thousands of different mice that you could buy. Best Buy is going to have a handful of mice that are the most popular. Newegg is going to have an ergonomically designed mouse that sells for $300 that if you're a gamer is super efficient there. So Newegg has access to technology and devices that you aren't going to find at Best Buy or a Target.
It's online, just online.
It's just online. Newegg is just online. You're correct.
You said you pay?
Yeah, and it's listed on the handout. Newegg.com is if you look at the front page there. Okay. Then also you have coming up Black Friday, and there's a ton of sites for checking on the deals for Black Friday. So there's sites like bestblackfriday.com, New Deal News, the blackfriday.com, Deals Plus, and Got a Deal. The advantage of some of these sites is if you're looking, let's say, for a particular laptop or something, you can actually put in, this is what I'm looking for, and it'll notify you when an ad comes up that has that item for sale there. So that's another way of kind of looking for things. Another tool that can be used is there's tools for checking price history. So I personally myself, before I buy anything, I always check the price history. And the best one out there is they make extensions for browsers, which are software add-ins for browsers, and it's a standalone website called Camel. So let's take a quick look out here, if I can bring this up here. So this is the site Camel. What you do is you put the thing that you're looking for. So if I'm looking for an Amazon Dot, which is, if you're familiar with the name, is a little smart speaker there, I can search for that, and it gives me a bunch of things that relate to it. So here's an Amazon Dot, and if I want more information on it, it tells me that Amazon is currently selling this for $39.99. I can buy it used for $16.50, but let's click on it and get more detail here. Now this detail, this is what I like about the price history. So I can go back even up to a year and get the price history of this Amazon Dot. And during this last year, the price of this Amazon, it's been as high as $39.99 and as low as $17.99. Well, I'm the type of person that I don't want to pay the highest price. I just as soon pay the lower price. Now, right now, it's not set. If I went out to Amazon, it's $39.99. It's going to go back down to $17.99 between now and Christmas, because you can see here, they raise the price, they lower the price. They raise the price, they lower the price. That's what Amazon does. And you can see that price history and know what price you want. And what you can do out on this site, Camel, is I could put in there that I'm interested in buying it at $17.99, and it'll notify me when Amazon drops the price to $17.99. I don't have to keep going out to Amazon. I don't have to do anything there. This also, if it was selling for at other companies or that, this will tell you some of the other prices and what date it was the most, what date it was the least. Well, the lowest price out there, it actually wasn't Amazon. It was a third party was selling it for $13.49. So with this information, I now know whether that sale that Amazon has is really a good sale or not for the item that I'm looking for. Yeah, so you can check the price history on these things, whether it's a laptop or a TV or whatever it is that you're looking for, even if it's toilet paper. Toilet paper, guess what? Amazon, the price goes up and down. It isn't always the same there, and you may have always bought when it was high, but there were points that if you knew that there was a lower price, you could have been buying at a lower price there. Okay. So camel is very good there. You may have also heard of another thing that's very similar. It's called Honey, Honey, and that's also a website that does things similar to camel, where it'll show you the price history, and you can also sign up for alerts, and these alerts are when the price goes down to what you're looking at it to buy it, it'll alert you, because again, then you don't have to keep going out to Amazon or out to Walmart or out to Target to check the prices there. Another thing that a person can do is most of the companies, especially the 5 that I talked about, they all have loyalty programs. And the loyalty programs, you sign up and you may have an app on your phone or you may have a card that they give you. But the loyalty programs usually grant you access to certain coupons or discounts or sales information or promotions. And so if they do have them, certainly check that out too. I mentioned here Get Social. All of the companies that I talked about have sites out there on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and they feed information about the retailer, and frequently you'll see information on upcoming sales, deals, and promotions that they're going to have. So a person can monitor that. Because the average person used to be in the past, if you wanted to see what the sales were, you looked in the Sunday paper or you looked in the paper at the ad. Well, nowadays, most people don't get the paper at all, and the companies don't advertise. So if you really want to know what's going on, you have to check out some of these other spots there. I mentioned here to create a budget. If you're going to buy something, create a budget and stick to it and do your best to resist impulse buying. So as you're looking around out there, they are going to pop up ads for other things because, yes, Target would like to sell you additional things or have you buy something more expensive. Understand how much you want to pay and that out there. Before you buy anything, understand the store policies. Because you don't want to buy something and then try and return it or find out that they don't do a price match or things like that. So it's always good to know a store's price match and return policies. Excuse me. Target is announced for the Christmas time here. If you buy anything from October 10th through December 24th, you can request a price adjustment if the price drops later in the season. So if you buy a TV, let's say for $399 and a month from now Target is selling it for $299, you can go to Target and you can get that $100 refunded to you. But you have to go and make that effort. If you don't make that effort, Target's not going to send you a $100 bill or take that off of your charge there. So it's up to you to keep track of the thing. Target also says that it will continue its policy of matching competitors' pricing, certain competitors' pricing. They don't match every competitor there, but usually the competitor's pricing has a limit, and in this case, Target's is 14 days from when you purchase it. So if another competitor of Target, let's say Best Buy is selling that model at cheaper there, you could get a refund for the difference there. To get the refund itself, usually you can do all of this stuff online. So if you have, usually to buy the item, you would have had to have set up an account at Target or Best Buy or any of these stores. So you'd go out to your account, and then within your account, you can pull up what you bought before, and then you can request a refund because either they're selling it cheaper or a competitor is selling it cheaper.
And then they'll send it directly to your credit card.
The refund, usually it depends on how you paid for it. If you paid for stuff with a credit card, they'll do a debit or a credit on the credit card to give you the money back. If it was a store card, you have that. It just depends on how you paid for it and what you use. You can add items to your shopping cart if it has the price that you like. And that makes it, if you find something out there that you think you like, add it to your shopping cart, but then don't check out. Go and do your search, your Google search, to see if a competitor may have it cheaper, or check reviews to see if this is a good make or a model there, or if there's something better. Then if it is what you want and the price is right, then you've got it in your shopping cart ready to check out. But if you do put things in your shopping cart, I'm just warning here that if it's items that are in short supply, you are not guaranteed to get the item until you actually check out. Until you check out, you haven't reserved or gotten that item. At the time that you attempt to check out and pay for it, that's when you'll actually, they'll tell you this is when it'll ship, or if it's on back order, or we don't have it in stock. Here I mention if you're looking for reviews, do a Google search for reviews, and you can go out there and say like best tablets reviewed. You can use the links to learn about the products and the good, the bad, and the options out there. I mention on here, don't click on ad-sponsored links that begin with AD, and I'll go out here and show you. When Google does results, the first thing that shows at the tops are the AD ones, ads. These ads are what stores or people have paid for to have that shown at the top. And I don't believe in any of those. I want the ones that aren't an ad. So let's go out here and let me do we'll go to Google search here. So let's do this, best laptop reviews. So this is a Google search. I search for best laptop and then reviews. And the first things that show at the top here, you'll see it starts with ad. That means that somebody paid money for their result to show up there. And I disregard anything with an ad. And I go down, and that's also true of this over here where it says shop the best laptops. Well, somebody paid money. This doesn't mean that they're the best laptops. It just means that somebody paid money to have their results showing there. It's kind of like and it's kind of like in a newspaper. Well, on the newspaper, if you want to be on that front page where everybody reads it, you have to pay more. Doesn't mean that they're the best product or the best company. It just means that they paid more to have it. So I disregard anything with an ad here, and then I go down into the areas without the ad. And then there's also certain companies that I believe in that do honest reviews and honest information. And there's a couple of them. CNET. CNET is one of the largest companies that does reviews, very unbiased, and that. Another one is PC Magazine. They've been around for 40 years, ever since I started with computers. CNET and PC Magazine have been around. You get some of these other companies like this. I don't know what this is. Chances are somebody just created a website to sell certain laptops. They'll write anything in the world. I wouldn't believe anything that is said in. What's that?
How did you know RTI?
Because there's all kinds of names, and if I don't know the companies. Now, New York Times, I'd believe them more than I would RTINGS. I have no idea what company that is, and I wouldn't trust anything that they say.
So how do you figure what the company is?
You can actually do Google searches to see which companies are reputable companies, which have been around a long time, which are unbiased and stuff like that. And like I say, personally, what I recommend people for reviews of computers and things like that are PC Magazine, CNET, and then where's another one? Tech Radar is.
Now, Wirecard is pretty good too.
Yeah, so there are some, and if you've used them in the past, and that there can be reputable. This is a good one, Tom's Guide. My name's Tom. It's not my website, but anyone named Tom has to be good. No, this is a good place though. They do unbiased reviews. They're known across the industry, and so there are some good places there.
Would there be a website that will tell you what are the top best?
No, because that's so subjective for everybody, which is the best there. So if you have any personal history, it's kind of like doing movie reviews. Who's the best movie reviewer? Well, one person says they like this movie, and another one says they hate this, and you believe the one that said it's a great movie, and you go to the movie and you say, I hated that movie. So you try and find a movie reviewer that has the same opinion as you, or is more,
Well,
along.
maybe you know which are the companies because you've done your
PC Magazine and CNET. Like I say, if you're looking for laptops and stuff like that, stick to those two, and that's going to be sufficient there. Okay. Another tip, there's lots of refurbished devices out there, and so if you're, and I do recommend to the 3M Club and to other people, I recommend frequently buying refurbished devices. Can be phones, can be TVs, can be any of the electronics there and that. But there are some caveats. If you're buying a laptop, make sure that when they refurbish it, that they put in a new battery. Because if this is a laptop that was used for 3 years, and that's what 3M does, they lease them for 3 years, and then they turn them back into the company, and then the company resells them. Well, if they put a new battery in, that's good. If they don't put in a battery in, that means that battery has now been used for 3 years, so it's not holding a charge that well, and the battery just isn't going to last that long. And you find that with phones. You can buy, if you want an Apple iPhone, a woman here at Carondelet was asking me about phones, and I said, well, depending on what you need, you can buy cheaper versions of the iPhones there for about half price, and they're refurbished by Apple. They put a new battery in there, they certify them or warranty them for a year, and you can save half the price of a new phone for that. So there are some good examples there. But you do have to be aware, like especially now with Windows. Windows is currently, most people should be using Windows 10 or Windows 11. Well, Windows 11 requires a relatively new hardware to run. It won't run on all machines out there. So the majority of the machines that are currently out there today will not be able to be upgraded in 2025. So in 2 years, those machines become obsolete, shouldn't be used because they aren't going to be updated. So if you're looking to buy a laptop, you want a laptop that's going to last more than 2 years. But if you're buying an old refurbished that can't be upgraded to Windows 11, you're going to be stuck buying a new machine then in 2 years. So it can be a little tricky there. The other thing I point out here is I do recommend to a number of people Chromebooks instead of a laptop. Chromebooks are much cheaper. You can get them starting at a little over $100, and they can be very good. But all Chromebooks come with what's known as an end-of-life date. So from the date that they're manufactured, the vendor who created it will not support it anymore, and usually between 3 and 5 years. So if you're buying something that's already been used for a year or two, you may only get a year or 2 years out of it before it's obsolete. So if you're buying a Chromebook refurbished, you especially check and see when its end-of-life date is, because chances are they're selling it very cheaply because it is going to expire in the next year or two. Yes?
What is the usual life of a Dell PC?
The usual life of a PC, I tell people that there is no usual life because everybody is different. There's no two people that use their computers the same way. If you told me that you were heavily into games and you were going online and you need the newest and the fastest and that, because if you don't, you're never going to win. Everybody's going to be faster than you and stuff like that. Everybody uses their computer differently. The time to get a new computer is when you're no longer happy using it or it's no longer supported. So if it can't be upgraded, as an example, some people are using Windows 7 and Windows 8. Windows 7 and Windows 8 are operating systems that came out, Windows 7, close to 15 years ago. It's no longer supported by Microsoft. It's a good way to get a virus or a hacker to break into your machine if you're using an operating system that is no longer being updated. Windows 10 has been out for 10 years. And so 10 years, I tell people computer years are like dog years. 1 year is 7, so really it's a case of Windows 10 is 70 years old. Well, do you want that 20-year-old or do you want the 70-year-old?
Like the house here, it's been 10 years, so the appliances, if they've been in that apartment, they're not going to be.
Yeah, and so a laptop is different than a phone too. A lot of people, Apple comes out with a new phone every year. Yeah. So they're on the iPhone 14. And if you have a phone that's older than 3 years or 4 years, that's ancient. Because I mentioned laptops are like dogs 1 to 7. The phones would probably be 1 year is like 10 years, 10 or 15 years there. You don't want to have an old phone because you want newer phones and that instead of, if you do have old phones, you have old cameras, old connections, old operating systems, things like that.
Yeah, but when you're talking about the years of the equipment, don't you have to consider the environment that you're living in and the community you're living in that may affect that? Because that's what I gathered from the definition. Does that make any difference?
Yes. So the question was, don't you have to consider the environment that you're in and what you're doing? So I mentioned earlier, I'm thrifty. I'm not cheap. I don't want to spend more than what I have to spend. So does everybody need the latest and the greatest? No, everybody doesn't need. In fact, if you buy the fastest and the latest and stuff like that, and you live in Carondelet here and you're using the free Wi-Fi is already slowing you down. So if you're happy with that speed that you're getting and things like that, that's great. I'm using it right now. I'm connected to the free Wi-Fi. Works fine for what I'm doing here. But if I was trying to stream movies or play games that I had to have the fastest speed, the free Wi-Fi isn't going to work for me.
So, for us here in Carondelet, what do you recommend that we do?
Actually, with my response to what should you get, there isn't one thing that works correctly for everybody. Everybody's in a different situation. Some people have more money than other people. So if you have unlimited money and things like that, you can afford to buy the biggest and the best and the fastest and stuff like that. If you don't, that's another thing. The other thing is, what I normally tell people is you first have to figure out what you do. How do you use your devices, whether it's a laptop? Do you just go out to the internet and read email and maybe go to Facebook and maybe go to one or two sites and you spend 5 minutes a day on the computer? Well, somebody in the apartment right next to you might spend 8 hours a day on the computer. And they're creating documents, they're taking photos, they're organizing them, they're taking videos, they're doing things. Everybody is different. And so the best computer for one person and the best computer for another person is completely different.
But that doesn't answer the question, because you said that the Wi-Fi in this environment may not be the best. So, and they put you on Wi-Fi, like the technician did to me. With my computer.
Yeah, and we won't go into detail. We'll talk later about some of the questions you have. But you know, what's the best Wi-Fi for a person? Whatever works for you. If the free Wi-Fi works for you, that's the best deal. If the free Wi-Fi doesn't work for you, it's too slow, you want to stream movies in 8K and things like that, and you're uploading and downloading stuff all day long, you need a faster connection. But most of the people don't need it. Just like a lot of people today don't need a laptop at all. And so I'm not saying everybody needs a laptop. They don't. That's why I say Chromebooks. Chromebooks work for a lot of people. That's why if you have a smartphone, how much do you use the smartphone? And is that enough for what you want to do? For some people, that is. We have people in the 3M Personal Computing Club that only use a smartphone. They don't use anything else. So there's all kinds of, I'll continue on because we're getting towards the end and I've got a few more things here. So you can buy secondhand. You can buy stuff on Facebook and Craigslist, and eBay is good. And if you're going to buy anything secondhand, check out the prices of the items that have sold on eBay. And you can do an advanced search to see what items sold for, not what people are asking for it, what it actually sold for. Here I make a deal which kind of pertains to some of the questions is going into making a decision, we'd call this analysis paralysis. People would not make a decision. They're too fearful that they make the wrong decision or they want more information or stuff like that. No, set a time. That time may be, I'm going to spend a half an hour looking at finding the best thing, and at the end of the half hour, doggone it, I'm going to make my decision, I'm going to buy it, and I'm not going to look back. That's what you have to do, because if you're just chasing deals and doing things like that, you could spend all week on this, and then you kind of get in a decision, and then, oh, but there's another sale coming up, or this is coming up, or that's coming up. no, you know, set some time limits, make your decision, and then live with it. Certainly on bigger ticket items, spend more time, but on cheaper things, okay, was it worth spending 10 hours to save $2? That means that you were working for 25 cents an hour. That's not a good payback there. I mentioned here, understand the shipping and return policies before you buy. If there's a return window, some of them it's you know, within 10 days or 30 days. And if you're buying it for Christmas, you don't want to buy it and then find out that, oh, they got 6 of these at Christmas. Now I want to return it, and you've missed the return window. So figure out what it is there. These are the most popular things to buy this season, not necessarily in order from top to bottom, because again, everybody's different. Televisions are always big, but nowadays you have a 4K television and an 8K television, and sizes up to 70, 80, even 100-inch. So there's lots of deals out there. Laptops, ton of laptops for sale, and Chromebooks. Again, make sure that you don't buy it with Windows 10 unless you truly only want to use it for a couple of years. Tablets, there's tablets, lots of tablets out there. I'm a big fan of the Amazon Fire tablets, and I'll talk a little bit later. You can get them for as low as $30. But also, if you want a better tablet with a better display and a better battery life, the iPads are out there. And iPad, the models that we got, like my dad and I have myself, is a model that lists at $329. Now, they came out with new models this year, and they bumped the price from $329 to $449, but you can still buy the old model. The 9th generation model is sold by Target and Best Buy, and everybody is still selling the old model or the new model there. And the new model doesn't really have any other features other than it costs $120 more. Smart speakers, so most of the speakers and the sound quality on these devices aren't real good. You can get much better sound out of this other stuff. Headphones, earphones, great thing. Fitness trackers, we all plan to live our best and stuff like that. And along with fitness trackers are watches, smart watches. Smartphones, because these devices should be replaced and stuff like that. Maybe every 3 years, 4 years, or at most 5 years, you're buying a new phone there. DNA test kits, they're on sale. Usually you get them for half price or less there. Video games and consoles. Cameras, even though you've got a nice camera in the digital phones now, or the smartphones, if you want better quality, there's a lot of nice cameras out there, point and shoot, and some of these GoPro things. We'll quickly show a few items. This is from PC Magazine. I mentioned it's one of the companies that I like that does reviews, and this is I cherry-picked some of the items that they had in their list of 23 must-have tech gadgets under $50. This is a security camera that sells for $32 and maybe not quite as popular in an apartment like this, but actually I've got one in my dad's apartment there, and enables me to keep track and know that he's moving around and what he's doing there. What's that? Yes, he's well aware there and that, and it's just in the living room. I don't have them all over. Earbuds, you can get good quality earbuds because frequently the quality of the speakers and stuff like that isn't that good, and you don't have to spend for the AirPods, the Apple AirPods or stuff like that. These are lights, smart scale there. And these are all by a company called Wyze, W-Y-Z-E. YZE is a relatively new company. I'm sure most of you haven't heard of it before, but they come in as low-cost competitors to everyone out there. So when they came out with this camera over here, they were selling it for $24, their first version, when all the other makers were charging $99 or more for the same camera. So they tend to be a price leader and are starting to take over the market. Floor lamps. This is a tablet, the Amazon Fire. It lists for the 7-inch model lists for $49, but you can find it for sale for $32 or stuff like that this time of year. A clock. This clock has a built-in Amazon Dot connectivity. The Amazon Dot has gotten better over the years. This is a new stylish one with a better speaker. Again, under $50, one of their recommended products. These are for streaming and probably not as popular here because you have access to the Comcast cable service free of charge, but a number of people within the complex want other services like Netflix or other TV stations or streaming, and that's where this can come in. Apple AirTags, this is for tracking. People will put them in purses or in things if you forget where you left it or are afraid somebody might steal something, you can put it in and then you can track where it's going. This is an older competitor of the Apple AirTags, Tile. Tile makes a similar device, so if you have Apple devices, the Apple AirTags are great. If you don't have Apple devices, then the Tile is probably the best choice there. This is a speaker. Usually the speaker on a laptop or a microphone on a laptop isn't that good, but if you do attend online meetings and want the best quality, there's better speakers. Because even like this one, I don't like how sensitive this is moving front and back, and that's where better mics can make your sound quality a lot better. Speakers, Bluetooth speakers, headphones. This is more for the people that have a house, but it's a water sensor. So if you put one of these water sensors near a toilet or your water heater, this would notify you if there was ever a leak. So it could possibly save you from any major damage to the house. For under $100, here's better ear core, and this is noise canceling, so it gets rid of the noise around, gives you better sound quality. This is, excuse me?
I've never seen that. What is that?
These are earbuds. You put them in your ears and you can hear music, or if you're making calls on your phone or things like that, you hear it in your ear instead of using the speaker on the phone. And this is headphones, and these this is $99 for the ear and $87 for the deal. Well, Beats headphones, a better, more popular entry out there. The Beats headphones go for I think $450. So instead of spending $450, you can get almost the same quality for a quarter of what the other headphones are going for. This is an instant printer for printing out pictures from your smartphone or from your laptop. If you like a photo, you can print a 2x3 inch photo, and it only costs 50 cents to print it out. So a low-cost printer, so it's kind of a nice option. The Alexa information. front door monitoring camera, Apple iTags again, they recommend the iTag. Amazon Fire, again, the Amazon Fire lists for $99, but you'll see it on sale this holiday for less than 40, usually less than $40. And if you do a lot of reading, tablets are not good for reading. So if you like to read books and things like that, a tablet is not good in the sunshine, or if you're reading in bed in low light. That's what a Kindle is made for. Kindle is the perfect e-reader, and there's several models of the e-reader, but this is a popular one there. The batteries last longer. You can read in direct sunlight. You can read at night with low light, so they're just perfect for that. Thermostat, you guys don't have to worry about a thermostat here. Speakers, again, some more noise canceling earbuds here. Lots of different ones out there. You'll see people wearing them all the time because they can really make the music sound really good, and also if you're making telephone calls or anything like that, they're very popular. Security camera that screws into an existing outdoor light. That's very popular. A device that will actually do a 360-degree selfie. So this is kind of one of the odd ones out there. This is another odd one. If you're into making paper airplanes or that, you can actually put this device on a paper airplane. You can use your smartphone, and you can fly the paper airplane that you made around the room there. And then this is another version of the Kindle. This is a perpetual motion machine. Again, one of the odder or unusual items. This is a light that you can get for your toilet. Motion sensor, plus you can change the color of the light. So for $12, you can have your toilet any color that you want there. Something for everybody. This is the Amazon Echo Show. It's a device that I recommend people, and I have a couple of those myself, and have put one in my father's apartment there. It lists for $85, but you can find it again on sale this time of year. Yes, you can actually make video calls and that with it, but there's a function called drop-in where you can, again, permission has to be given, so this isn't something that a hacker can get in and start seeing you. You have to set it up, or somebody has to set it up. You have to give permission for that person to be able to see, and then they can drop in and see what's going on in the apartment or anything. That's the end there. I'll take any questions or comments there. You're welcome. Thanks for coming. What was that?
You have previous discussions?
Yeah, the previous discussions, and I list on the back of the handout here is the URL or the address to go to. But if you've been out to the Carondelet website, and let me pull up the Carondelet Village. So this is what the Carondelet website looks like here. They put a number of things out here, but I have this section here called Tech Help. And if you go to Tech Help and then to Resources, this has information about the stuff. Yes, this is a website, but you can get access. So here's a list of previous meetings. So here's where we talked about digitizing your old photos and stuff like that. If you want to see the presentation again or the handout, I can go here to the video. Well, maybe we'll get going. Thanks for coming today. And the main topic today is going to be how to digitize your old photos. So it's the slides and negatives by myself. And again, you can go through and watch it as many times as you want or anything. And so this gives you a little preview and basic. And let's go back here. Let me go back. Where am I?
Do you do this every month?
I do it every month. Yeah, well, COVID kind of put a little crimp in some of the things, but once we got back going there, I do it every month there, and so you'll see ones in here. Ancestry is scams and cyber threats. I had one on that. So there's all these different topics there, and I try and do a new topic or that every month. So we'll
Once a month
in this building, in this room, yes.
How do we know what would you use the same once a month of a certain?
If you look on your calendar, your Carondelet calendar, you'll see this listed on the calendar. So if you get that paper copy of all the dates, and in the elevators, we post the posters and what's that?
Do you choose a particular day of the month or what?
It depends on when I can get the room and when I'm available, but it usually is the second or the third Wednesday of the month, but it varies from month to month because sometimes they have events going on in here, and there's priorities, and I do what I can there. And you can see, I will have out here, if I go to Tech Help Calendar, so I do have a little calendar out here, and here you can see there's a calendar showing on the 16th, tech equipment buying. Now there's the in-person help that's available here. This is Teddy who does stuff. This is when he does stuff, and when Sue does things. There are the two other people here that will come to your room and do things and that. Yeah, just call down to the front desk, 5,000. If you call down to the front desk, they can set you up with an appointment with either of them. Sue or Susan is the other person. Teddy is usually 6 to 8 o'clock on Tuesdays, and it varies again with the holidays. Sue wasn't here on Thursday, or won't be here on Thursday. She's out of town, but hopefully she'll be back in December there. But if you call down to the front desk, they can schedule a time there. So like last month, this is the schedule for last month, September, and this is the schedule that it was in August. It varies from month to month, whether people are busy or not. Okay, other questions? So if you want any of the other handouts or the other presentations, just go out to the website and you can look at those at any time. You can do it on any device. So if you have a phone, you can watch it on the phone. If you have a tablet or a laptop, just use your browser or click on the link and you can go out there. Any other questions? Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for coming. And let me close some of these and let me do this first.